I wanted to stress the importance for people to have multiple streams of income. Ooh, I think there's a wedding going on today. There's a big barn here. It's a big barn and you can have a wedding inside. A really nice area. Across the street, you can see the little church. Actually, you can get a little closer. You can see there's a little log house there, and then the old church and the barn. We're gonna sit over there. There's no people. So I found a little picnic area. There's nobody else around. There's everybody over there doing their little wedding thing. So this is Balls Falls Conservation Area. It's a beautiful area. I love coming here in the fall for their fall festival, and they have an art and like a craft and art show, like with all the vendors, with artists, artisans, crafters, food. They have live music on the stage over here, and it's one of my favorite times of the year. It's in October. It's like around Canadian Thanksgiving time, and it's just beautiful. I love that time of year, so I love coming here then. And I've actually never really been here in the summer, and I've never walked on the trails here, so that was really pretty because I hadn't been to the Upper Falls there before. There's another area you can walk to over here, and you can see the lower falls because there's two falls. And from anyone not from Southern Ontario, we have the Niagara Escarpment that runs all through Southern Ontario. And so right now we're on the top of the escarpment, and so we have so many waterfalls along the escarpment because of all the watersheds. Of course, they run down, like Niagara Falls is on the escarpment. That's probably the most well-known. Pretty much everybody in the world knows about Niagara Falls, so it's not far from where I am. It's a beautiful area. If anyone is not from this area and likes to travel, I definitely suggest Southern Ontario. This area has a lot of wineries and fruit growers. There's a lot of agriculture here still, and a lot of really pretty small towns. But I think the biggest attraction right now is the wineries, and a lot of them have really built up in the last 10 to 15, 20 years. And there's just some beautiful places to go. And there's also Niagara on the Lake, which isn't far down the road. Great place to visit. There's so much to do. You could spend definitely a couple weeks in the Niagara, Hamilton area and never be bored. There's a lot to do. So somewhere I would always recommend. But this is not a tourism video, so. But I thought this would be a nice place to sit and have a snack. I brought a little sandwich and some berries with me. Anyway, there was one other point that I wanted to make about making an income from your art and the importance of having multiple streams of income. I never want to see anyone just doing one thing and doing well and making good money at it, and then suddenly something happens. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could be the economy, it could be their health, it could be social media, algorithms. Like, you just never know. Something could come along and take that whole income stream away. So I wanted to stress the importance for people to have multiple streams of income when they, well, in anything, in life in general, but especially as a creative entrepreneur. I think it's really important for people to have more than one source of income, because if something happens, then you always have other streams of income to fall back on, and you're not going to lose your entire income stream. You'll have other things that you can then concentrate on instead, or pick up, that will at least give you some money in the meantime while you're trying to figure out how to replace that source of income, even if it's temporary or permanent. So for artists, I suggest something like, let's just say you are a painter and you paint acrylic paintings. So just as an example, you would have the one source of income, which is your original paintings that you sell to collectors, to galleries, to whoever, through social media, however you want to sell your original paintings. Then you make art prints of those pieces of artwork, and you sell art prints through a website, through a marketplace, through your own website, through in-person markets and craft shows and art shows. That's a second stream of income there. I always suggest like one stream of income should be something where you're either doing YouTube, a blog, or a podcast, something where you can talk about your craft and your art and yourself, your brand, who you are as an artist, and maybe a bit about your life. That's where you can show your process, allow people to get to know you, because when people know you, they're more invested in your art and the things that you sell, and they're more likely to buy from you. So you really need to connect with your audience, and you're more likely to have repeat customers and have your art shared by word of mouth or through people that have purchased, telling other people that they should purchase. I think it's really important to be known as an artist and to put your face forward and your voice. If you don't want to be on camera, like something like I'm doing on YouTube, then you can write a blog. You can talk about the industry. You can talk about your art. You can talk about your subjects. You can talk about your process and how you make it, your supplies that you use and why you use them, your process, how you learn to do what you're doing. Talk about all those things, and it's just another way to get people also to know, like, and trust you, but also it can send people to where they can purchase your things, because people that see blogs, podcasts, and YouTube aren't necessarily looking to purchase art, but if they come across you as an artist or creative or a craftsperson and they really enjoy listening to you and they like you as a person, they might want to go then and find what it is that you are creating and making, and want to purchase that stuff from you and support you in that way as well. And by using YouTube, blogging, and podcasting, it's additional source of income. You can make money from AdSense. It's not a lot, but it does help out a little bit. If you could get sponsored by companies or products that you're a good fit with whatever it is that you do, and it's maybe a material that you use or a product that you use or a lifestyle thing that you do that makes sense for you. If you are 60 years old, you're not going to be promoting kids' toys, and vice versa. If you're in your 20s, you're not going to be promoting, health products for seniors. You have to do what's appropriate for you. And but there is additional streams of income that you can be made, and it also can bring people in, kind of funnel people to where they can purchase your products and that you can make money. So sometimes you might not make a lot of money from it directly, but it will help get some eyeballs on your stuff, on you, on your product, on your process, and it will funnel people to where they can support you and purchase your art and your items. So I think it's important that everybody has at least one of those things. Like I said, if you don't want to be in camera, then start a blog, because you can do photography in there. I mean, if you have a blog, you can also embed your videos if you also do videos, because sometimes it makes sense. If you are making a YouTube video, you can actually have that transcribed, and there you have a blog post. You can then take what's on YouTube, have the transcription, put it in a blog post with some photographs, and then you also have a blog where people can come and find you that's searchable through Google. You can also take your video, strip the audio away, and there's a podcast. If it's just you talking about something, that can also be a podcast. So you could technically I could take this video that I'm shooting right now, and I could turn it into a blog and turn it into a podcast. Why am I not doing that? I don't know, because I have so many things to do, but it's like they're things I would like to do, but I have to start somewhere. And maybe those are things I will add down the road. But I'm only one person working a full-time job and doing art on the side. So, but if you have the time, then you can do all these things. I'm just saying there's so many opportunities that people don't understand are available to them. Ooh, a cardinal. Sorry, I squirreled. I'm so easily distracted, but it was a cardinal. He's so pretty and red. Where was I? Oh yeah. So you can literally take this video and make a blog and a podcast out of it. So it's just another stream of income that artists or creatives need to have in their lineup. So, so I talked about selling your original, selling your prints, having a blog, podcast, or YouTube channel, and then you can also get into other things if you're, say, making art. If you draw or illustrate or paint, you can get into surface design, which is using your designs on products. Everything you see around you that has a picture of something on it or a pattern of something was most likely created, because now with AI they are doing some of that, but I don't think it takes place of real artists doing real work. I think that you can see the difference, but maybe in some patterns AI does the job, and some companies are using that. But I think that for the most part, there's a big car coming. Hold on a second. I think for the most part, artists, you can, any art that you're creating, you can use those images and you can sell them to companies that put them on their art. So you can go into any store and say you have t-shirts, you have home decor, pillows, sheets, clothing, I mean, you name it, water bottles. If it has an image of something on it, wall art, even, I mean, anything that you see in the world, that you could purchase, you can find images, like illustrations and patterns that are made by artists, and that's a whole nother stream of income that you could get into. You could sell your, say, you like to do more, um, you know, not childish illustrations, but more of an animated, cartoonish style. Um, those kind of images are great. You can put them on greeting cards and kids products, and you could illustrate for children's books. I mean, if you're just making art, even if you do abstract art, there's still companies that could use your art in their products and on their products. So don't think just because you're doing abstract that you can't sell. I mean, some of the patterns that you see out there, can be made from abstract paintings. Like sometimes it's the cover of a notebook. It's just an abstract painting. It's like a beautiful piece of artwork. So you know, don't count that out just because you do abstract. But if you do, like more illustrations or realistic paintings, or even just expressionistic landscapes or anything, like this can all be licensed by companies and put onto art, or even sold to companies that then want to, print it and sell it as their art. Companies that sell wall art, they could buy your art as well if you don't want to sell it yourself. There's lots of opportunities for that. But yeah, you have to think outside the box and think of all the different ways that you can get different income streams going. And then the last one is, before I forget, is also wholesaling. If you get to a point where you're making products with your art on them, like say you're making greeting cards and you're making tea towels and you're making makeup bags with your prints or your images, your illustrations, your art on them, you could actually start a company where you make your art, you put it on products, you have them manufactured, and then you sell them wholesale to other companies, to other retailers for them to sell. Like that's getting up there maybe as you go along, but these things you can all add on as you grow and as you get your business going. I think that there's just so many opportunities, and I have, I think, other videos that I talk about all the different ways that you can monetize. And teaching is another thing that I always talk about. If you're good at a skill, if you have a skill at something, you might not think it's important. You might think, oh, nobody cares, about what I'm doing. I just paint watercolor mushrooms, like big deal. Well, a lot of people would like to learn how to do that because they have no idea how to. So you could teach classes. You could have a little workshop where you come in and teach people how to do watercolor mushrooms. And then they go home and make their watercolor mushrooms for their friends and family, and they're happy because it's just a little fun thing to do for them. But you could make money teaching what it is that you know. It doesn't matter. You could be writing, pottery, art, knitting, weaving. I could go on. There's just so many things. Sourdough bread, like whatever. Anything can be taught to other people, because don't assume that because you know how to do something and it comes easy to you, that other people know what they're doing. Oh, that's a big bug. don't think that just because you are really good at something and it comes naturally to you that everybody knows how to do it, because most likely they don't. Think about all the things that you see other people doing that you have no idea. You're like, I don't know how they do that. I could never do that. Well, think about the things that come easy to you. Those are things that you could teach to other people, that you could help other people learn how to do. And, you know, with online classes now, like the digital industry, the digital education industry has grown so much. You can reach a global audience. You can teach people on the other side of the world how to do what you do. And I just think it's so important to, once again, like, I'll just hammer it in that have multiple streams. Like, it doesn't have to be any of these things that I've listed. It could be something totally different. You have to decide like what makes sense for your industry, the kind of art, the things that you create, the products that you create, whatever it is that you are doing. There's multiple ways that you can make an income from it, and you just need to try, and don't let technology scare you, because it's easy enough to do. You just have to start and then learn as you go. When I started doing YouTube, I didn't know what I was doing. I was using my phone, and then I got a little bit better camera. I'm using my iPhone right now. I just got the new iPhone 15, and the quality of the filming on this is amazing. I've hardly picked up my other camera to shoot with lately. I love this because it's so portable. I mean, I'm out at a conservation area, and I just have this little stick tripod that I bought, and my little mic, and that's all the equipment you need. And then you go home and you upload it into your computer and you edit it and you put it on. You put it on online. Like, it's not as hard as you think. You just have to take things one step at a time. Ask people near you that might be able to help you. Like, I'm happy to help you. If there's something you really need to know, let me know. I will make a video about it, because I love to share information, and I just want everyone to be able to realize their potential and how much they can accomplish and what they can do with their creativity and their art and their passions. And I'm just excited for everyone, and I want everyone to get started. So I just want to talk about that, about how important it is to have multiple streams of income. Just start with 2 or 3 that kind of make sense, that are natural progression to whatever it is that you do. There's lots of things. There's lots of possibilities. It's endless. So yeah. So with that, just remember, guys, never stop dreaming. Follow your passions, and we'll see you next time.